And peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay. Today is Friday, which means my favorite day of the week. We talk about the weekly intersections, the themes, the threads that run through the passages that we've been reading this week. So we've been focusing in on Luke chapter 8, 26 to 39, Galatians 3, 23 to 29, 1 Kings 19, 1 to 15, and Psalm 42 and 43. So when you read these passages, there are a few things that kind of jump out that you see connecting points between them. The first thing that I noticed was fear. Fear seemed to be a motivation for a lot of the behavior that we see in these passages. Just looking at Luke chapter 8, there is fear from the townspeople because of what Jesus has done. There is fear the townspeople have because of this man who is possessed by a demon. There's a lot of fear that motivates. Elijah is on the run because of fear. The psalmist in Psalm 42 and 43, there's a lot of fear as the motivation there. And this fear ends up leading to the second point, is this depression that we've talked about the last 2 days. We see that the psalmist and Elijah are asking the question, why is my soul downcast? And so what we see here is what we would call depression. There's a fear that leads to stress. That stress leads to depression. Now, the third point, which I think is the good news that we see in these passages, is that God rescues us from the life of slavery and what brings us down. And so what we see in the man who's possessed by the demon, Jesus rescues him from that demon possession, sets him free. He's in his right mind. He's back to normal. He wants to follow Jesus. So we see that. And then we also see in the passages of Elijah and the psalmist that we see that the ending is this idea of hope, that God is the one who's going to pull them through. So we see that God is the one who rescues us from the life of slavery to sin, and also from what brings us down. I find it interesting that the man ends up with a new identity at the end. And I believe that's what that rescuing does. It brings us into a new relationship. There's themes of baptism in Galatians. And so we see this idea of we become a new person when God rescues us from the sin and what tears us up on the inside. That's all I got. Hey, so what did you find this week? If you would share in the comments your intersections, I'd love to learn from you. So I hope you have a great week, everybody. Have a great weekend. Stay dry. It looks like rain again this weekend. And I will see all the Southsiders on Sunday, and everyone else, I will see you next week as we start over again with another week of studying the scriptures together. Grace and peace, everyone. Take care.